Well, I guess some YouTubers can be. All right, so recently one of my subscribers reached out to me and they had some questions about one of the work from home job opportunities that I talk about. But also in the message, he asked me to take a look at his YouTube channel because he wanted, my opinion on what he was doing. But one thing that's really stood out in the message he sent me was, he wanted my opinion because another YouTuber with a fairly large following actually took a look at his channel and pretty much shitted all over it. All right, I guess this dude was very negative, very discouraging, pretty much saying this dude, what he doing, it ain't gonna work, right? So I told the subscriber, I was like, look, I'll take a look at it and I'll give my 2 cents. And first and foremost, like, I even appreciated him even reaching out to me because, I'm not huge on YouTube. I got a lot of content, but I'm constantly growing and trying to build my channel myself. But the fact that he actually cared enough to ask for my opinion, I thought that was dope. So I did take a look at his channel, and a couple days later, we hopped on the phone call. So when we on the phone call, I told him what I thought about his channel, gave a little tips, my opinions. And as I was doing that, he actually revealed who the YouTuber was who pretty much just discouraged the hell out of this kid. And when I heard the name, he was like, do you know who so-and-so is? I'm like, yeah, I watched several of his videos. I know exactly who that is. He was like, yeah. He was like, that dude was like super discouraging. He was very negative. And he was actually even confused. He was just like, I don't even understand why he was so negative towards me. He goes, I don't even get it. Right? So knowing who that YouTuber was, like watching their videos, I was like, damn, that's crazy. Because this dude, obviously is YouTube, so I don't know him, right? But like on YouTube, he seems like he would be a nice dude. Like he seems like he would be a cool, helpful person because in his videos, he come across like that. Now, granted, I can understand how, certain YouTubers, whatever, it's like a real life element. So maybe if somebody was harassing him or bothering him or something, maybe he could be a dickhead or he could be mean to somebody. But I don't understand that if the guy who reached out to me, if he was just asking this other YouTuber like for their opinion or help or tips or anything, I don't see why it would make sense for that YouTuber to be so negative, right? It just wouldn't make sense. Because when the subscriber was telling me like, yo, he was just like, everything you're doing sucks and this isn't gonna work. And I was, especially after looking at this guy's YouTube channel, the one who was asking for my opinion, I'm like, okay, this guy has a faceless YouTube channel. So he basically has like little clips or like images, and he just talks into a microphone. He gives his opinions on things, right? And this is something that millions of YouTubers do. They use this faceless strategy, to get out content. So I told the dude, okay, I'm not huge on like the faceless video thing, but there's nothing wrong with your channel. I told him that. I said, because you have to understand that somebody's going to talk about you regardless. Somebody's going to not like what you're doing regardless. That's just, it doesn't matter. And I told him, I said, there's somebody out there, believe it or not, who doesn't like Beyonce. There's somebody who doesn't like Taylor Swift. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? Yeah, a lot of people, right? So you're going to have people not like what you're doing. It's just part of the game. But I felt, the fact that other YouTuber with a fairly big following, who's probably doing pretty good, I'm like, to me, he shouldn't have been so negative to this dude, because like, it's one thing that somebody who don't do YouTube shit on a YouTuber, right? Somebody just look at a video and they're just negative. Oh, you're stupid, you're ugly, you don't know what you're talking about. But to me, it's like, you need to have like a little respect to another YouTuber, because you know what it takes to be a YouTuber. You might not like this dude's style, but you do understand the effort that had to be put in to create that content. So for that guy to be so discouraging was just whack. Like, first of all, like I said, there's nothing really wrong with the dude's channel. Like I said, if anything, I told him, I said, I personally think it would be better if you maybe were on camera, you know what I'm saying? But A lot of people do faceless, right? You know, and I said I thought it was a good thing because this kid is actually himself. I can tell that when he does his videos, even though he's not on camera, his voice is like he's really being himself. And I told him the more authentic you are, the better, right? And I told him, I said, look, you cannot be wrong. What you're doing cannot be wrong if it is you, right? You can't be wrong. So I was just letting him know that, because I'm like, bro, don't stop doing what you're doing. Like, straight up, like it's room on YouTube for everybody, all styles, all voices, all ages. And like I told him, I said, just keep going, right? Keep experimenting, you know, keep tweaking stuff, whatever. But don't get discouraged to the point where you're thinking about quitting, or you thinking about like, shit, I ain't gonna make it because this dude, you know, said I wasn't good. This dude said I wasn't gonna make it. Like, to me, that's horrible, you know, for that YouTuber in that YouTuber's position to kind of shit on this person who's actually looking for help, who's looking for tips, looking for advice. So it's crazy because I'm like, shit, every time I see that other YouTuber's videos pop up, I look at them a little sideways. I do. I'm like, right? At the end of the day, that other YouTuber, hey, that might just be his style. You know what I'm saying? He might be like, hey, I create content. I got my own opinion. I thought this dude sucked, so I told him. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? Do what you do. I just think, you know, damn, that was kind of like being an asshole to somebody who was actually looking up to you for some advice. I mean, who knows? Maybe somebody out there might think I'm an asshole for whatever reason, but that dude definitely was an asshole.